Here is a game that I played today against this guy. His rating is 2063 in lead chess. However, in the FIDE, well, he claimed to have a FIDE rating of 1565 on it. He also has a FIDE profile here from Hungary. Um, Probably he's a chess enthusiast. Well, I am playing as black here, and he's playing as white. So okay, now after that move, I am recognizing the pattern that's going to be a Gruenfield defense like that. So that's, and there he confirmed it that it's a Gruenfield defense. And I know the weakness of Gruenfield. The weakness of Gruenfield is the early in the opening. If you can handle it, then your C3 pawn is going to drop. It's going to be captured. Let's see how it goes. There. And indeed, he is following the Gruenfield defense. I have played this game many times in the past, but well, most players already has an antidote to this, but apparently he was not able to find it there. And now that white's c3 pawn is going to be, I mean, vulnerable in the early phase of the game, it's going to be pressured on like that. And there it is. So as you can see, white could not capture the c5 pawn because this pawn here is going to be captured by my bishop check, right? So that is now the what I told a few moments ago. That's white's c3 pawn is going to be a weakness in the Gruenfield defense. There is an antidote to this for white. I have played it against a young kid lately, and he was able to find the antidote. But it's going to be very delicate defense very early in the game. There's a move by white that could prevent this, but it's too late now. His pawn is now being attacked like that. So as you can see, the knight, which depending the pawn, is now threatened by the bishop. So again, this pawn and this pawn are under pressure now. Okay, let us go back. So when did I recognize that pressure? At this stage, early on at move 2, most players will already know what will happen later. And that is how early in the game can players identify weaknesses and plan a strategy to attack you, even at this early. So most players already know what will happen here, but apparently white here is not aware of what's going to happen. So there, and he further confirmed it because I have played these games many times before, so this is not the first time I have this position. And so here we are. You can find this position in the chess-based database, and it is probably occurring many times and played by several grandmasters in the past, world champions, something like that. There is an antidote to this one, but it's going to require a very special kind of skill set to defend this. He's trying to defend the pawn, and I'm trying to continue to attack his weakness. The c3 pawn is now attacked. He's defending with the queen. So all of white's move here is already calculate. It's already been known even at move two. All of this has been known already. So no calculations here. And again, I'm continuing the attack. As you can see, this pawn and this pawn are pressured. And this is the Gruenfield opening. White choose this opening and he is not aware of the current weaknesses. It does not mean that white is it does not mean that white is an underdog in the Gruenfield. It does not mean there is a defense for white here, but apparently my opponent is not familiar with this opening. And he castled. I think that's the wrong move. And I captured one of his defenders. And there, the pawn has dropped. And I think that in this opening, white is not familiar with the Gruenfield line. And there it is. But apparently later on, you can see that white has enabled himself to counterattack. He lost a pawn, but he was able to gain a positional advantage, as we can see. There. From here on, I was thinking like 3 minutes because I am aware that white has positional initiative now. He lost a pawn, but he has positional initiative. I have to capture one of his bishop because two bishops is a very dangerous combination. The presence of the black and the white bishop is one of the secrets of grandmasters. Some world champions try to retain their two bishops because the combination of the two bishops is just very deadly, and I have to eliminate one of that. That's the explanation of that move. Now here I was trying to castle queenside to defend the pawn at the same time, and at the same time enable my rook, but I was afraid that I'm going to be attacked by his bishop here, check, followed by a rook here, and my king is here. So I would be exposing my king in the line of fire. So I am not sure if that move is correct, but that was what I made. A very defensive move. I did not like that move. There, as you can see, white is now starting to pressure me. He has initiative. I have to castle there. Now, white's plan is very obvious. He plans to double his rook here in the 7th rank. And it seems to be unstoppable doing that. I have to stop the doubling of the rook there because that is his plan. I have to defend the pawn again. My plan, the reason that I move my bishop there because I want to put my bishop and c5 square here to block this rank here in order to disconnect his two rooks. I have to block the bishop there to disconnect his two rooks, but apparently he knows that. He knows what I'm thinking, so he put his bishop there. And now I have to retreat my rook. So I can no longer disconnect his two rooks because he already has his bishop here. Okay. Now, okay, we can see now that white's plan is indeed to double his rook in the 7th rank. it's going to be very difficult to stop him from achieving that. So I put my bishop here to prevent the rook from coming here. Now I have to move this pawn because this pawn is a liability. Okay, let's take it back. This rook is being tied to its position here just to protect this pawn. I have to move that pawn in order so that my rook, this one, can move. Now, white is trying to dislodge my bishop along this diagonal so that, for example, if I move my bishop here, then his rook will uh, move here, will mobilize. So both of his rooks will be on the 7th rank. And I just think that I could not let that happen, so I have to retreat my bishop here just to prevent his rook from coming here. And here I recognize that my position here is a little bit cramped and probably losing. Yes, I have a pawn advantage, but my position is not good. I do not like I feel like I am losing in this position. As you can see, he is attacking the weak joints. He's attacking the weak pawn here. I have to protect the pawn. Well, my bishop being here is like, it's not a good place for the bishop because the bishop is being blocked by my own pawn, and the only square that this bishop control is this one. So, well, it's really a disservice putting your piece in a position that is of less use. I have to go back here. And there, seems like he was able to finally found a good attacking position. Um, well, at this time, I think that I have to free up my position. I have to escape from the current bind that I am now. I have to push this pawn so that my rook can move here. See, if he captured the pawn, I will move my rook here to protect this pawn, and I will not be worrying with this pawn here, white, because that pawn is going to be recaptured back later on. That pawn is going to drop anyway. So when white captures the pawn, I will not immediately capture back. I will not do that. Instead, I will move my rook here. That's the plan, and the plan also is to exchange one of the rooks because the presence of white's two rooks is just too powerful. I have to eliminate one by exchanging one, and he only has one rook. Then at least it will decrease his initiative. Well, he made a mistake here by moving that pawn there. So now I have to capture it because I know that he could not capture it back because his king is will be in line with the rook, but instead he made a blunder like that. I was not expecting that he will make that move, but that is a blunder. I had to put the rook, the bishop back there, and as you can see, his king and his rook is fork attack. So he has to capture my bishop, and from here, I knew that I'm winning. So, well, the dark days are over here. I have to push my pawn there. Well, I am not worried of his bishop there because I have my rook. This rank is being protected. My back rank is being protected by the rook. Instead, I have to go on and proceed with my own plan of attack. Well, instead of moving that bishop there, I think white should have moved his king here so that his king can advance and join the game. But instead, now his king is trapped there. His king. Okay, let's go back. Instead of moving that bishop there, I think that white should have moved his king. I mean, I don't know, but maybe he should try to mobilize his king and move his king forward. But instead, he moved his bishop there, and now his king could not join in the center because he's being barricaded by the rook here. So Now, there's nothing to worry here because he could not. There's no mating combination in this position. There's not just no way that white can mate can deliver a checkmate. Hmm. Now I have to move my rook in order to give way of the pawn to push to move forward. So I have to move the rook here so that my pawn can move forward. He delivered a check, and now, well, as you can see, that move now white could not prevent the mate. It's impossible to prevent the mate because this rook is going to move here, check, and white is mated, and there's nothing white can do, and white resigned. That's it. So as you can see here, it was a game wherein um, I had an advantage in the opening, but suddenly white had an initiative. He had an advantage and he made a mistake. And well, it's a roller coaster game. But as you can see, only one mistake and he is finished.